Anybody here know the expression Boolean search? Nobody?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, we do.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Do you use it?
No,
No,
I think what you would-
Occasionally.
so LinkedIn as a search engine operates differently than other search engines like Microsoft, Yahoo, etc. They take singulars and plurals and give different results. On Microsoft and Yahoo, as an example, they'll take singular and plural words and combine them into one result, not on LinkedIn. So I started doing search engines before the term SEO even existed. So it's really important that you understand the principles that you're operating within, or the technology of how it operates, and you'll get a much greater reach. Do many of you reach out on social media to like LinkedIn or whatever to make other connections?
yeah,
yeah.
Okay, so understanding the difference makes a big difference. So if you took financial advisor as an example, or financial advisors on LinkedIn, you get two different results. So you gotta think the process to understand how it relates to what you're trying to search. Does that make any sense? Have any questions?
So what would be the search case you use here? What would you use it one versus the other? Because it's based on what the individual puts in their title is how it's going to come up. So if somebody doesn't even say what they do, but they just say that they, help businesses do something, it's not going to specifically put their title in their profile. How would you still find them through LinkedIn?
Well, that's a great question, because LinkedIn is a vocation search engine. So understanding what vocations you're after becomes a very, very vital component in what you're doing. You want people to understand that? How do you reach out? You're only allowed to do 125 invites a week on LinkedIn. And knowing if it's of value to you to have a free account or a premium account. We got into that with a client today, over the last couple of days, because she and we're managing her account. She thinks she's getting something other than what she's getting, and that's all because of how many invites she does. She has a free account, so she doesn't get quite the features that you would get. How many? I can't see this because I'm having trouble with the computer, but how many people are using LinkedIn as their major source of growth?
Yeah, I guess I am.
yeah. I'm
using it, but I wouldn't say it's the major. I mean, it's part of all the different social media options.
Sure. Yeah. Well, with you, that's especially true based on what you do. But with if you're a business looking to grow your business, LinkedIn is the right place for you. But Instagram and Facebook and all those others have a great deal of bearing for what you're doing for a living.
Well, I'm not real impressed with Instagram, all I can say for my market, so.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm on your page as well. But, you know, the master of this stuff is Mr. Breck Rice. Right?
I wouldn't call myself a master, but I've stumbled upon success in social media.
Well, you've done an incredible job of reach outs and in the different formats that are available out there. Right? How many Facebook, Instagram, you name it, do you have out there?
You know, what was interesting is with the Facebook, I didn't really use that for anything other than, you know, I think I got connected with family nieces around the world, right? But more recently, I've started using Facebook groups. So creating a group in Facebook to direct, you know, traffic to, and so that's been a good funnel, right, to pull people out of other social media platforms where they now can become more a part of a group rather than just a bystander or following posts.
You know, this
But that's a new strategy.
this is a whole subject is worthy of a discussion. What do you do? Okay, here it is. The essence of our meeting. What is it that you're doing to grow your business? What are you missing? What do you not understand and maybe need to get some discussion about it? The master of this is Breck Rice. He knows he's spent very, very valuable time growing his connections on different mediums. You want to talk, hey, Breck, I know you're driving and stuff. You want to give us a little bit of a heads up of what you do, and are you doing it yourself? Are you leaning on your staff to help you out? Talk to us.
Well, yeah, you know, initially I had staff for digital marketing, and like a lot of small business owners during the pandemic, you know, had to tighten their belts and let some of that staff go, and so really fell on.
You cut out a little bit there, Breck. Say it again.
Yeah, so
I don't know about you, but he's cutting out on me. Is that happening? Think you might be in a bad zone, Breck. So we'll need to come back to that. I don't know if that's me or if other people are experiencing the same problem.
Yeah, same problem. It's in a bad
Okay.
area, I guess.
Yep. Technology, right? You know,
marketing.
in a few years, what we're going to experience, if you don't have technology, you won't get married. It's a vital component.
I
No.
think Mike Hayes might have something to add to that in relation to AI and all he knows about it.
Yeah, thanks, Patrick. I have my detective hat on today because I am solving the mysteries of AI. and I am working with Oxford University MBA and EMBA programs. In fact, I've been invited to attend a lecture at Oxford in June and July about their narrative storytelling strategy that they used to help turn Espoo, Finland into the most sustainable city in Europe. And we want to turn Lafayette, California, using the Americanization of that strategy into the most sustainable city in the country to use as a model and as a competition with other cities to stop the epidemic of retail, restaurant, and store closings that has really been decimating the economy, as you can see from San Francisco and what has been happening there. So I did promote this event today on my new YouTube channel called AI Podcast Walking, to get people learning about AI out for a walk and to promote the health group. Put on your podcast, grab your phone, go out for a walk, and listen and comment. And we help connect the dots right under YouTube. So there are a bunch of links, including the link to this meeting I just posted today to promote this meeting on YouTube. And you can see it with all of the different dots to fill in any gaps in your life. That's what Steve Jobs talks about, Patrick, is connecting the dots. You can't connect the dots forward. You have to use your experience and wisdom to connect the dots backwards and help people understand. And that's what I'm doing.
That's a brilliant statement of what you're saying. That's and it keeps evolving, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it's like a bullet train,
Yeah.
So I'm doing it like talk radio, Bob. That's my background, so that I can keep up with it. So I'm going to try and do a new episode every day, and I'm going to be encouraging people, get off your butt, get your walking shoes on, and go out for a walk, put the headsets on, enjoy your city, enjoy wherever you are, and learn AI and how to keep up with it, and then comment, and so that we can make it interactive.
Well, I'm glad you brought that statement into this group meeting, because today we are launching. I own a website called mycity.com, and I've owned it since 2002. At one point, it was one of the absolute top, most traffic sites on the entire internet.
Wow.
Because of the world changing so quickly, it's really, really quite important that that we keep moving with it, right? So we are introducing AI into my city. It's supposed to launch today. It launched last week, and then the whole site crashed. So it's supposed to be launching today. And within my city, we have been collecting data for like 6 years.
Wow.
When LinkedIn did away with giving you the data, when you can download your connections, people are aware of that. You can download your connections on LinkedIn. The problem is, in October of 2018, they no longer provided that to you. All they give you is name and vocation. That's it. Okay. So I went out immediately and hired 6 people to do research of that pertinent data. And we have that in mycity.com.
Wonderful.
So we have millions of pieces of data. The phone number, if we research it, and we break the phone number down by mobile, landline, voice over IP, and 800 number, and tell you what kind of connection that is, what what that phone number is. So you'll see a phone number, and then you'll see mobile. You see another phone number, see landline, et cetera, et cetera. And I've been collecting that data for years, so I suspect we got a lot, and I don't know the answer, to be honest with you. But I'm sure it's millions of pieces of data that is very, very valuable to people.
No doubt. I would love to connect with you on it and talk about maybe starting a cities contest, you know, to restore the vibrance of downtown. And, you know, like 150 Kelly Moore paint stores just closed, went, you know, all online. And how we can use AI to, you know, maybe create AI incubators in unrented retail stores, and, you know, create traffic and vibrancy like they did with Espoo, Finland. And really, you know, we've got Cal in our backyard, we got Stanford, we got Oxford. We want to connect the dots to all the, you know, because people don't trust the media anymore. That's my background. I love media, but now it's quote unquote the enemy of the people, which is not true. But the only thing you can really trust, I think people still trust academics. I think they trust Oxford and Cal and Stanford. And so you have to, that's so important in AI business networking. It's so important to, you know, do testimonials for people that you trust and that you like. And, you know, that otherwise, and we need to learn media literacy to how to spot fakes. You know, what's real and what's not real. And by law in California, you have to teach media literacy today to high school students.
Really? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it's a law. Yeah. It's amazing. But we got to connect, Bob. I would really want to reach out about the city initiative.
Okay, yeah, and I love this, and I love joke telling, right? So I tell everybody, my daughter went to Berkeley, and then she went to Stanford, and I've said for years that my daughter's brilliant, my mother-in-law is brilliant. She turns 100 in May,
Wow.
and I've always said that it just proves that intelligence skips a generation. My wife. She's right in her own way. Very, very, very sharp person. And anybody that puts up with me for all these years, we've been married 40 years. And I'm a San Francisco boy, you know, so we're backyard type mentality.
Yeah, my wife born in San Francisco. And she's one of the few, you know, actually born there.
Yeah, yeah. No, I still miss the Bay Area enormously. We used to go up to San Francisco 4 times a year. My wife and I had an office up there. It was my excuse to go up there and go to the Buena Vista.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Irish coffee.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 It's the home of the Irish coffee.
Pardon
Most
me?
people, it's the home of the Irish coffee.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Right, Patrick. Can you verify that?
No, I can't.
Okay.
It might implicate me in a way that
So,
no,
so
I don't.
So my wife and I've been going to the Buena Vista so many years that the bartenders are retiring or have retired.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
many years ago. So
Yeah.
that tells you how long. I used to go watch the you can tell I'm not a kid. I used to go watch the Jefferson airplane at the Fillmore Auditorium in San Francisco.
Bill Graham.
Yep. And I started going there when I was like 16 years old. So the Jefferson airplane, they had like a table high stage, and we'd look up at them. There was only standing room only, and you'd look up at them. This is just a starter band at that point.
Yeah.
And what I always just talk about is you get a contact high by just being in that room.
Absolutely.
So anyway, that's so much for that. But back to technology. I think the one lesson to learn here is that if you don't keep up with technology, you will be left behind.
And now it's a bullet train. It's faster than ever.
Yes. Yes, so
Quick
true.
question
So
about
true.
Elaine. Was Elaine going to speak today?
No, it's Bob.
Bob,
Oh, okay. I just wanted to be sure. So
yeah.
make
So
sure she get her.
you're, I don't know whether you're gonna walk out of this meeting going, oh boy, that was dumb. Or a lesson to learn. Maybe that's the most
About what?
important about where we're going with technology and how to
Oh, yeah.
incorporate it in. If you don't incorporate it in, any of the people here hear of a company called Max Factor?
Sure.
Mhm.
Okay. I was a director of accounting for Max Factor back in the 70s, I'm thinking. And I was actually hired by Norton Simon to come in and clean up all the frauds that were going on. So that's in the day of when a 300 megabyte hard drive was the size of a washing machine
Yeah.
and $50,000. Did I just date myself? But I fell in love with technology. I'm an accounting guy. Okay. I had very, very successful career as an accountant. I signed up for the CPA exam twice. This is the irony of Bob, right? I signed up for the CPA exam twice. Both days of the exam, I got up and I said, I don't want to be a CPA. The trouble with CPAs is they're typically very, very boring people. And I tell everybody to this day, it's the best thing in the world that I ever did not do. But what happened was I fell in love with computers. And so I started, anybody hear of a guy named Tom Hopkins?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Mastering the Art of Selling by Tom Hopkins.
Yeah.
And I followed him like it was a religion. This just gives people in this group understanding of how you evolve and what you need to think about as we evolve as an individual. So I studied Tom Hopkins like it was a religion. I had an 8-track cassette tape that I would drive into my office and play that every single solitary day. I became so good as a salesperson that 3M, BASF, some of the major companies out there would give me awards for sales. Now, this is an accountant. You're looking at an accountant. This is not a typical accounting mind, right? Well, I got trips to Italy. I got all this stuff that you would not typically experience. So stay on the cutting edge of your growth, depending on what you are doing. And there's always something to learn from it. Now, we are especially faced with an over exuberance of technology, however you want to term it, traveling into our workplace. And now you got to be on top of it. Now you have to be on top of it. Otherwise, you're going to be left in the dust.
Hold on a
Now,
minute, Bob. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. You're going off there. You've taken off. And I want to bring you back into greater balance, Bob, because the technology is very important, but it should not be promoted exclusively without the consideration of the humanities.
So
We
true.
are human beings first. The technology is a tool to enable us to be better, but it
So
must
true.
not dominate us. And people using it mustn't be allowed to dominate us.
Yeah, Patrick, thank you for making that statement. Somebody spoke?
I was sorry, I went onto Mike's link, not expecting it to suddenly leap into action, but apologies.
So what we're doing right now, and this is in an accelerated pace. I mean, ChatGPT, what did they get? In a few months they had 100 million users. 100 million. That's a big number. So now, how do you take all this valuable information, like on ChatGPT? Okay, here's a great. This will probably be the best part of our discussion that we have. The trouble with ChatGPT, as an example, is the reach out. How do you reach people? You can write incredibly gifted articles, but unless they get seen, they're not of value. Please, somebody speak.
Can I comment?
Yes.
Okay, I want to agree with Patrick 100%, but I also, it's a two-sided coin, and that we really need to look at the best of both worlds, especially wisdom. So what AI is a great muse. Okay, it can motivate us to think and use our wisdom in very unique ways and reach out with our wisdom, but especially in this group. You know, the value of knowledge is going right into the tank because you can get knowledge on the internet for free 24/7, anything, but you can't get wisdom. You need wisdom comes from the selection from your experience. You look at what failed, what didn't work, what did work, what was good, and then you eliminate the things that didn't work and focus on the things that do work. That's wisdom. Now, the valuable thing today is wisdom, and this group has a ton of it, but that is what you need to value. And the world is trying to devalue our wisdom with knowledge. And knowledge is worth nothing in the marketplace. It's free. But wisdom is extremely valuable and becoming more valuable, but only if you recognize that. You can't let anyone belittle you or you know, especially the younger generation with ageism. You know, we really need to focus on respecting our own wisdom and utilizing it and valuing it and supporting each other.
I love that. I love that statement. In fact, my wife's in the room. We got to go up to San Francisco so we can meet with this gentleman.
Okay. When are we going?
She's asking.
Bob's coming. Dr. Bob Levine's coming out. He's going to come out and he's staying overnight. So I'm looking forward to meeting him out here. He's coming from Florida. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, there was one other statement I like to make along with what you were saying. How do you use it? How do you use it? That is such an important aspect. And this is how people are going to need to understand how to grow their businesses. And I think that's the key component behind all this. All the other stuff is inconsequential if you don't know how to use the data, the artificial intelligence, all these factors, combining them together. Talk about it.
Well, it's about outreach. If you look at everything is outreach, okay, everything. So if you are not doing outreach, the two parts of outreach is getting your message right and then targeting the right people. So if you are outreaching the wrong people, it's not going to do anything. And if you are outreaching with the wrong message, it's not going to do anything. So what you really need to do is get the right audience, the right message. And the smaller and the faster you can keep AI. So, you know, like Patton said, monuments are a monument to man's stupidity. Well, now in the age of AI, where it's moving so fast, if you put a ton of money into an expensive website, it could be obsolete tomorrow. So, you've got to stay lean and mean and light and travel fast and stay on top of things and communicate and network. But the mantra is test, observe, adjust, expand. So test your market, test your message, observe what happened. Was it good or bad? If you were light, you can change fast. And then all of a sudden you hit the pulse, and now you've got it. And once you got it, then you expand. But you don't expand until you test, observe, adjust, and then expand.
I love this. You know what? Other people that are in this meeting today, I'm sitting here on an iPad, so I'm limited. Chime in, say something. We need your feedback. It's vital that you feed back to us what we just talked about.
So
Who wants to go first?
next week, I'm going to be showing you how I'm staying lean and mean, so to speak. I've invested in a new platform, and I'm going to show you a bit about it next week.
Give us a little heads up.
Yeah,
Okay.
very good, Elaine. Very
So
good.
it's on a telephone, it looks like an app. It works like an app. On a PC, it looks like a website, but it gives me complete functionality, complete admin support. I've got websites as well, but I'm a great believer in not having all your eggs in one basket. I've been burnt like that before. So we've got stuff all over the place, all these different social media things. And as long as our presence is the same, whoops, nearly knocked a glass over. As long as our branding is on point, so we always kind of show up the same. I think that's important. However, we go out there, but it's what Mike was saying about the the testing and so on. When you have a website, when you're writing articles, blogs, all the rest of it, the old-fashioned way, that takes forever. And if you don't have control of the website, then you can't be lean and mean sort of thing. But this new platform, it's brand new, and I'm still learning all the tech. So
What's the name of it?
It's the company that I'm using is called Multics. They've been developing it for the last year. They're based in Malta, hence the name Multics. But they're bringing in all kinds of tech, and they're sewing things together. So I've got CRM built in. I've got the capability to chop and change articles. I've got it's really quite interesting. I can't explain it terribly well. I'm a showy, show me type of person. The tech is not. I don't know the tech speak sort of thing, but I can show you what's what. But what I was really planning to talk about next week is the behavioural profiling and how I use it with health and well-being. But I can show you how I've created my perfect health hub. And I only mention it now. I wasn't going to show it to you, but I've mentioned it because we've been talking about tech and keeping up to speed and whatnot. Yeah. And I'm really proud of myself. I was 67 a couple of weeks ago, and I feel really proud of myself because a lot of people in my peer group, they can barely use a mobile phone, and here I am learning all this tech. Yes.
How do you spell that website? Because I couldn't find it based on my guess of how you might spell it.
You won't. Yeah, no, you won't find it. It's all under development.
Multex. Multex.
Multex. Yeah, no, you won't find it. Well, I don't think you'll find it. I will try and I'll go on silent, and I'll try and find some links and pop in the chat for you.
Beautiful. You have to ring MI5, Bob, I think, and they will share it with you. But that sounds amazing, Elaine. Really amazing. So, can I ask the fundamental question? What do you perceive you will achieve with this wonderful platform?
So,
what's your goal?
Okay, so it's a membership hub. It gives me complete flexibility that I can add articles. So, for example, somebody said to me, osteoporosis, can you do an article about osteoporosis? I can't find anything that I trust. So I wrote an article using AI as well. So I use AI within the platform to research stuff, and then I turn it into an Elaine document. So I'm using AI for kind of fundamentally, if it's something that I've never, I've not written about before. I write articles for a magazine every month here in Portugal, but on a topic that I've not written about before, I'll go on to AI, I'll ask it questions, give the information. So it means I can very quickly knock up an article, put it on the platform, and then I can push it out to the subscribers really quickly. But it's
And is this income generating? I mean,
it will be, yes, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's the aim, but it's very, very early days.
Well, on the AI part of it, my opinion is you have to, especially for the medical side, you really have to filter through that. Now, I have
Absolutely.
found a better response on the Perplexity AI platform compared to ChatGPT and some of the others. They seem to have with what I feel is better information. Of course, that's something that you'll have to determine, but that to me is a better platform than ChatGPT and some of the others.
I use ChatGPT, but my system, I'm just going to put a link in the chat thing here to my system. My system has a built-in one, which is really very, very useful. But you only get an allocation. Apparently, I'm the only person in this organization that's linked in that's used all the allocation up within a few weeks. So I then gone on to ChatGPT, and then when my time slot comes round, I can go back on the free allocation. So I've just been messing about with all sorts. So this link I've put in there, that's my site. So they call it PWA, a progressive web application. So it's not a website, it's not an app, it functions as both, but it means I will have, when it's all populated, and it's going to be growing and growing, I will have lots of articles. I've already got loads in there already, but I'm transferring from one platform to another. So I've got all the documentation that I had on my old platform in a repository somewhere, and I'm gradually adding to it, and I'm bringing stuff in and also writing new stuff. So yeah, it's really interesting learning about all this stuff. I never dreamed in a million years I'd be doing this, but yes, it will pay in due course. At the moment it isn't, of course it's an investment, but
So
there we are.
Elaine, just a curiosity, when you publish an article, is it peer reviewed, or how does that work?
No. It's me. It's Elaine Godley with umpteen years of experience and street cred and all the rest of it.
Yeah, Patrick, peer review only works through major scientific journals. It doesn't
Yeah,
really.
I know that. I
Yeah.
was just, because it goes to major scientific journals, it's a trusted source.
used to be, not anymore, unfortunately. The
Yeah.
last few years has
Yeah.
put paid to that, but there we are. We won't go down that rabbit hole.
You're right, Elaine, you're right.
The good part of this is everybody here looks at each other as peers, and there's a lot of wisdom sitting here. Last night I was watching a movie about Einstein and how far in front of the rest of the world he was. I got a feeling there's a few people in this room that have very high IQs. So makes me feel like I need to put my brain to work.
It's about collaboration, isn't it? I was brought up in the era where everybody, had to be the fastest, the best, the biggest, all the rest of it. Now, as we age, we learn we don't need any of that stuff. It's about collaborations and then helping each other to go forward. And we can't all be experts at everything, but as you say, in this room, there's people who've got all kinds of expertise that you never know. And the people we know that have got expertise. I've got loads and loads of healthcare contacts, and when I have a client who needs support, I'll have no hesitation in referring to someone who's got the specialist information that I don't have, and I'm sure you all do the same. You know, it's human nature, isn't it? But it's not how I was brought up.
Yeah, I think the EQ is probably higher for me than the IQ, and it's
Absolutely, yes, yeah.
it's that I'm smart enough to know that I'm not smart, and so I need to surround myself with some really smart people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great comment.
Bob, you're on mute.
Yeah, it's really the synergy that comes through teamwork that makes a huge difference. And anybody left alone on their own island is probably not going to get very far. I suspect even Einstein had his collaborators and team members who helped him expand his thinking.
Yes, yeah. I have a drop-in. Well, it's turned into a drop-in. It was with the Perfect Health Hub. I do health networking. So on a Monday and a Friday, I have a call on UK time, 10 till 11. So probably in the middle of the night for you guys, I guess. But on a Monday morning, it started off as an accountability call for members, but it's now turned into a natural health drop-in surgery, and that's because there's normally several of us on the call who are able between us to deal with whatever ailment somebody has. So people will drop in, I've got this pain, that pain, my neighbour, my dog, you know, whatever it is. We've normally got the answers between us, and then we'll brainstorm, and then we'll come up with, you know, some selection of strategies and solutions for the person to follow, and they go away happy as Larry. Collaboration again.
Yeah, that's very similar to what Dr. Bob and Mike Hayes here and myself and another gentleman, Tim Daniels, are trying to create with that second half hour on Tuesdays, right? Is collaborating. I know that Armand has participated the last 2 weeks, and Patrick's been there as well. It's been great to see a lot of the same folks in that collaboration. We have you know, through that we talked earlier before I got cut off, that you know, a funnel strategy to move patients over to a Facebook group that are all have health concerns, that we want to connect them with people who can help them, and not just, you know, holistic, you know, providers, but any provider that has good solutions. Although it has seemed to attract a lot of the functional medicine folks into that community. But I did a quick search just for pain, or chronic pain, I think was the search criteria, and immediately had, you know, 200 people within that group that all struggle with that. So we're gonna, you know, now I'm gonna add to it everybody that also put, you know, fibromyalgia or other things that also are just another way of saying I deal with pain, and really put a target list together to invite those individuals to you know, join with us for our drop-in. I love that you call it a drop-in. That's great. Can we steal that from you?
Absolutely, yeah.
So, all right, write that down, Mike Hayes.
Yeah,
We'll have drop-ins all over the world.
can you
Yep.
put the link to the Facebook group in the chat, please, Breck?
Sure. Let me find it real quick. Yeah, that's you know, that's, I know that Elaine, you said that you're not real trusting of Facebook, and so you've created your own depository or funnel.
Yeah.
Is this is that what you're building here?
Yes, yeah, that's one of the things, but also on a website, I've got secure servers on my website. So I host a podcast, and I interview people with varying different views as I have, versus the mainstream narrative, and that's why I've been thrown off of YouTube and Facebook, and I'm not having it anymore.
Yeah, that's one of the negatives of doing the social media groups, is they can shut you down in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So you have to, you know, so they're monitoring what's going on.
Speaking of Heartbeat, Armand, Heartbeat has a platform that, Elaine, you might like a lot, because you can't get shut down from it. So we use it. It's part of what we do. Mike, Breck, Tim, and I, with another group that in the Max community, And also I'm in another group that uses Heartbeat. It's a real community-based platform. And you know, you own it, you get to use it, you don't, nobody shuts you down. So anyway, it's something to check out if you're interested.
And what's that called?
Heartbeat.
Heartbeat.com.
Hang on a second.
So do they have to
I think it's
create an
heartbeat.chat.
account and all that?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Do they have to create an account and
Yeah, you
Yeah,
have,
but it's free.
What's that? I don't think it's free, Mike.
No, there's a free version.
There is?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what's the
But I think
website
it's
again?
heartbeat.chat.
Yeah, heartbeat.chat. That's it. I'm going there right now just to see. Yeah, heartbeat.chat. That's right, Mike. Way to go. And it's a great platform. I mean, I'm on 2 Heartbeat platforms, and they're both fabulous. And it really works. You can do a lot inside the platform. So
Yeah, before Heartbeat was Heartbeat, that I'd already funneled people, into the Facebook group. And based on the suggestion of one of the founders behind Heartbeat, so Alex Hitt said that you need to funnel all those people that you're connecting with on social media for this particular topic, the drug interactions topic. And so that's when I set up, and so now it's really hard to get those almost 4,000 people and try to move them over to a different platform, right? So that's why we just said, okay, well, we'll just keep them on here until we get kicked off, I guess.
and I don't think we're not that controversial, Breck.
That's true.
Yeah. I have a
I want
1
to
o'clock.
start posting I'm ready to start posting regularly to help our initiatives, Breck. So
Yeah. So the WellWave Now healthcare disruptors, I'll put that link in the chat here. I'm just typing it out.
and that's Facebook.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got 4,000 on my Facebook group. It used to be really, really active. I've had it for 10, 12 years. It used to be very, very active, but then a lot of people have gone off of Facebook. Facebook also did a shakedown and people that were inactive came off. But I've been constant at around 4,000 for many years now. So despite, and I've thrown people off and what have we. So I keep it there because every time I mutter about going off onto another platform, I've got a Telegram group as well. Every time I mutter about going away, they go, "Oh no, stay here." But I hardly go on it myself. I just pre-approve people now, where I never used to do that. I now pre-approve, and they just kind of keep it going between themselves.
I think shakedown is a good word, Elaine.
Shake down, drop in. Yeah, I've got.
I don't pre-approve, so I'm having it's extra work, but I do want to capture some basic information. So I've got over 100 people waiting to get in to the group that I haven't let in because they haven't responded to the questions and say they're going to live by the by the rules.
And you get a lot of that.
Hi, everybody. It's been great to be with you. I have
Bye-bye.
to run. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you, Dr. Bob.
Yeah, me too. Adios, everybody.
Yeah, me too. I'll see you next week.
All right,
I'll
great
decide what
discussion.
to talk about, but I'll talk about something.
Yeah, look forward to it. Thank you.
Right. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, bye now.
Well done.
Stimulating meeting.
Yeah, thanks, Bob.
Hey, this was great.
We'll see you.
I took myself up a notch. All right, everybody.